Boy, Larry's done so many amazing things in his career. He has been at multiple different institutions on both coasts. He started the wine program at Sonoma State. He was very successful at UNC Wilmington as the business school dean.
When he came in, the school was in a world of hurt. I was on the search committee, and at the time we were looking for someone who would help us financially and help us improve enrollment. And he did both of those things.
The opportunity to do something in my last few years of my professional life that might have meaning, and I didn't know whether I'd be any good or not being a chancellor. I really wasn't. That was never a career goal of mine, to be a chancellor. Be a damn good business dean, yes, but not a chancellor.
But when he came, I was so delighted that he, through his business acumen and his academic leadership and administration, was able to guide LSUS through some really tough times.
We're the only public four-year institution in Shreveport, and people don't realize a third of our freshmen are first-generation students. And so those kids are coming to LSU Shreveport because there is no other four-year school to go to.
When Larry Clark got to LSU Shreveport, we were an institution of about 5,000 students. And we have grown. At the top, we are about 10,000 students. And so that's added a lot of economic value to our community. We've built out the Veterans Resource Center, the Cyber Collaboratory, our Health and Human Performance Centers.
He was able to grow the university tremendously, largely through that MBA program that was done through online. It grew at one point, I believe it was actually the largest online MBA program in the United States.
We made a lot of money on online education, and we invested as much of it as we could back in the infrastructure of the university. So we transformed the university for our face-to-face students.
That Veterans Resource Center is really a really incredible facility, one-stop shop to help veterans know, what they can do.
He has been on so many boards. In the chamber, for example, twice. He's been on the executive committee. He has served on Step Forward. He works with the Boy Scouts because he's very passionate about providing opportunities for people in this community.
Larry is someone who really believes in diversity. Going back as far as his time with the Biracial Council, even looking at the makeup of his leadership teams, he is all about giving opportunities to people who may not have had those opportunities elsewhere. He does that in his personal life, in his spare time. The boards that he sits on, that's why he's respected in the community, and I think that's why he makes this place better.
And so his ability through that position to help promote the base and to grow the base in terms of its capabilities, that was actually good for the business community, whether they recognized it or not.
I know in his relationship with the Knoll Foundation, he was very straightforward in what was needed, why it was needed, when it was needed, and how desperately it was needed. And that because of that, we never turned him down.
And had Larry not been able to turn the school around and stabilize the finances of LSUS, I don't think he would be in existence. So that to me is the greatest thing that Larry has done, is just ensure that we continue to have a four-year public institution here in Shreveport.
I would say kind. He's a very kind man. And he strives for fairness. Driven. He's extremely driven. I don't know when he actually sleeps. And the last word I would use is ubiquitous. Larry has a story that pretty much covers every facet of the human existence. He's punched sharks before. He's done military training. He's been at the Pentagon.
If you've ever watched a Seinfeld episode and Kramer slides in, his hair is slightly tousled all over the place, holding some papers. There have been many times where we have been very busy in an office, engrossed in our work, and all of a sudden, here slides in Larry like Kramer with papers, enthusiasm, and energy, and it catches you off guard, but you can't help but get excited about that.
Larry has done a wonderful job as the Chancellor of LSUS, and I wish him the absolute best in his retirement and hope that he will maintain his ties with LSUS as years go on.
Been a huge resource for veterans, for military, for the people that live and work out at Barksdale. And I don't know that how many people in the community are aware of just how important that support is for the people that work out there.
For me personally, Larry has been more than a boss, more than my supervisor, more than my manager. He's been a friend, a great friend. He's been a mentor. Larry has always been there for us. He's been the rock solid human being that shows up every single day. And we will miss him tremendously. And I personally will miss him tremendously.
But he's had some great gigs, and he wanted to come back to Shreveport and turn our university around, and he did, and I'm thankful for that.
I've personally gained so much in my time as a professional, but also as a human being, knowing Larry Clark, and it's been an honor to call him my boss, but it's also an honor to call him my friend.